Hey, this is Steve McMurray, otherwise known as Mr. Stiv, coming to you again from Carolina Beach, watching the waves roll in and the surfers surfing, and just wanted to continue sharing with this little installment of how to overcome the mountain of fear with a rope using the acronym ROPE, and that was, of course, something given to me through a fellow named J.T. DeBolt, who is a former naval aviator. We've talked about R, recognizing the fear, O, having optimism to overcome the obstacles and finding the opportunity during difficult times, and P, making progress even when it's the most difficult. Just continue to take baby steps when necessary, just to keep moving forward rather than going back and quitting. Today we're going to talk about the last letter in that acronym, that's execution. And it's sometimes most difficult to execute things when you rely upon your senses. You get a little bit of panicky sometimes, and you want to go this way and that way. You want to try one thing and then try another. You go from here to there without really following through and learning what you need to learn and moving forward one step at a time. I think we've all had that problem where we just move from one opportunity to the next. We move from one toy to the next, one shiny bauble to the next, and we never really continue on with our plan. This was illustrated by J.T. DeBolt when he described taking off in a multi-million-dollar jet and facing a mountain range about 11,000 feet at the end of the runway. Of course, the jets climb very quickly, but as this particular day that he was taking out, there was a cloud cover at 9,000 feet, so he couldn't see the mountain after he got into the cloud cover. And so he had to really rely upon his flight plan and upon his instruments. And he described as how they entered the cloud cover and everything went dark. He couldn't see what was going on. The G's pressing against him made him feel as if they were going to the left, and he wanted to correct that, but he looked down at his gauges and saw that they were level. They were climbing at the planned rate, and so he just kept his cool and continued on with the flight plan, just ignoring his sense of panic. And you can imagine knowing that there's a mountain range in front of you and you're in the dark, that you could suddenly be slammed against the mountainside in a moment of horror. And he had to fight against that panic. And then he described as how they suddenly break through the clouds into the sunshine and they find themselves over the mountaintop. And they did this because they relied on a flight plan, and they kind of ignored the feelings of panic. They looked at the instruments, they looked at the flight plan, and they stuck to it. And so when it comes to executing, we really need to do that. We really need to have a plan and write it down. We need to have goals and write them down, and keep focused on that plan and keep focused on those goals, so that even though you might be in the dark, you might not feel like you're moving in the right direction, you might not feel like you're making any progress, that in the end you're going to suddenly break through that cloud cover, as it were, and into the light, and find yourself at the goal that you set for yourself. So you can set other goals. And you can, once again, look back and see the success that you've had. You can look at the opportunities that were presented to you, that you took advantage of, and that you can share with others. And so it becomes a flight plan, if you will, that helps you to overcome your fears and move forward. Now, the purpose of really going into a new venture like this, in my case, I'll just share this with you that it may be similar to yours, is that I don't have enough money saved for retirement. Relying upon a job and a 401k, there's just no way that I can save enough money to continue with the lifestyle that I want to into retirement. I'd have to save almost $3 to $4 million really to have enough to live on without reducing my principal. And so I've come to the conclusion, as many have, that I need to rely, rather than on relying on a pile of cash, I need to find streams of cash, streams of income. And the internet provides a tremendous opportunity, but it also provides a lot of fear. and a fear that has to be overcome. And it may be the same with you. You may have a different why, but that is my why. And not only in providing value for what I know to others, but in really having a retirement income that I can count on. Not only this, but in other streams, perhaps into real estate and other income streams. The point is that whatever your why is, it needs to be strong enough to overcome your fears. I have a tremendous fear of being on video, and this has been a little bit of a challenge for me. It's not going to be, this is not as good as what it's going to be, hopefully in the future, and hopefully you'll get more value out of what I have to share with you in the future. But just keep this simple acronym in mind as you approach your fears, as you look at your reason why, to recognize your fear, to look for the opportunities to overcome that fear, to make progress day by day, taking baby steps, attacking that fear, if you will, moving forward, and then having a plan with goals in mind to execute it. So I hope these have helped. Continue to subscribe to the blog and to take a look at future posts, and look for emails from me as well as from Elite Marketing Pro, as you can really learn an awful lot from this system. Remember, it's a system that you can rely on. It's a plan that you can follow, and it can help you to overcome your fears and reach your goals. So once again, this is Mr. Stibbs signing off. Thank you for listening.